And we're back.
Yeah, the road trip. Road
Road
trip.
trip. Road trip. Okay, so, last thing that happened was, they were looking at the book, right?
And the last thing that happened was that they officially started the road trip in earnest.
Okay. Um, so let's get back to this. I've been alternating between the old tape and new ones, immediately throwing on the old tape after finishing a new one and vice versa. I haven't had any complaints from Marina. She's been sitting at my side the entire time, softly humming off key to the music. She seems to be the type to just accept things as they are, like with her car being stolen or that treasure. I forgot that happened. Especially that treasure. And to make it worse, it's not just her. Apparently it's some phenomenon now. Goes to how much I keep up with current events. But the whole thing smells like a scam. I bet somewhere all the big shots from that publishing house are gathered up in their corporate tower, laughing at the idiots they've ripped off of that book. That's not. Christ, I'm even starting to sound like him. The music turns to static before the cassette is silenced by a loud click. I ejected and reached for his old tape again. Marina knows is taking the opportunity to break the long-held silence.
So, do you like music a lot?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Figured. I've been playing those tapes the entire time.
She picks up one of the tapes on the center console and inspects it, going as far as to poke her pinky through one of the holes.
I'm not sure what you call this type of music.
It's called post-punk. Oh, no, it's not post-punk. Whoops. Yeah, I've just been playing whatever. Mostly jazz fusion and alt-country. Threw some new age crap in there for good measure.
I guess that could be, technically considered post-punk.
Potentially.
Because, from the angle of post-punk, it's punk. Punk's
But
punk.
post.
Yeah.
Heh.
It's you're punk. If punk's sticking it to the establishment, then post-punk's sticking it to the punkish establishment.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is Amber really had an emo phase.
Yeah. Heh, most of these are mixtapes I made when I was little.
Cool. Any names I'd recognize?
She peeks at me through the holes of the cassette, wearing a wide, genuine smile. Probably not. Amber's a music elitist.
Aw, come on, try me.
Why not? Maybe I'm not giving her enough credit. You know, Gabriel, Gertu, Weather Report, Donovan, Methany. Marina gives sage-like nods and grunts of understanding as I list off the names. You have no idea who any of them are, do you?
Not a clue.
That's what I thought.
Sorry. I usually listen to whatever's on the radio.
I crack a slight smile. It's alright. I could see how it might be hard to get into. My gramps used to call it road trip music.
It sounds like it's nice, though. It's making me really happy.
You think so? She taps her finger gently against my cheek. I pull away a little, but let her do it anyway.
Yeah. Why else would you be smiling?
I've never really thought of whether it made me happy before, but I do know it made him happy, so that's good enough for me. That's actually why I'm going to California, you know, for a music festival.
Real? Where?
Coachella, not far from Palm Springs.
The Coachella. Palm Springs? Like, the actual Palm Springs?
Don't know if there are any other Palm Springs in California, but yeah, they do it every year for a few weekends. A few weekends?
Ultra Coachella. Coachella XL.
Yeah.
I went to my first concert a little ago before I graduated.
She rests her head against the window and stares at the road ahead, her smile fading but still there. Huh.
It was so much fun.
Int
Entire weekend of that sounds super awesome.
Nah, it ain't that cool. Marina flings her head away from the window and turns to me. Now she's staring at me like I'm crazy.
How could you even say that? It's the coolest thing ever. I wouldn't even be able to wait. I'd want to see all the bands.
Sheesh, relax. It's not like I'm taking it for granted. It's just that there's only one group I know I want to see so far. That's right, his favorite group.
Just one?
He was so excited when he got the tickets. Oh no, I don't like this. Just one that I'm excited for. I'll watch a bunch though. Releasing a long sigh, Marina eases back into her seat.
Oh, good. I was afraid you were going to head on home after you saw your group.
You crazy? I'd like to at least have a little fun before worrying about all the expenses I gotta deal with.
Expenses?
Damn it. It's nothing. She gasps.
Student debt? College loans? Brother said those aren't fun to deal with at all.
Got too comfortable. Should have kept my trap shut.
Or you just spend too much on your ticket.
Without warning, I swerve off to the side of the road and onto the rocky sand, cutting Marina off and nearly giving her a heart attack. That's not very nice. Marina shoots me a worried glance, her face still pale.
Oh my god, what was that? Are you okay?
I pinch the bridge of my nose and my elbows on the wheel.
Bro,
I've been driving all day. I'm a little tired.
where are we?
A little outside Albuquerque, so we aren't too far now. We'll sleep here tonight and drive to Shiprock first thing in the morning. Killing the ignition, I climb out of my seat and into the living quarters. Marina trails behind me. I yank open the bathroom's Velcro-latched cupboards. Inside is a folded stack of a blanket, sheet, pillow, and my old gym clothes from school. I scoop them up and toss them to Marina. She scrambles to catch it, desperately balancing them as they lean out of her arms. Sorry about the clothes. I don't have any actual pajamas. You could sleep on the couch. It folds out into a bed.
Oh, okay.
Alright then, see you in the morning. With that, I step into the back room and slam the sliding door before collapsing onto the oversized bed. Even in the darkness, I can make out the pictures hanging on the wall. Once upon a time, there were generic scenic pieces. Now they're photos of me and Gramps. My favorite is the one of us in front of the Museum for Music, rock and roll to be specific. I was just a little pipsqueak back then, holding on up an autographed vinyl sleeve that was about the size of my head. He was by my side, squatting down and ruffling my hair as I gave the biggest smile I could, even with my missing teeth. I let out a sigh and fixate on the ceiling skylight, a small sliver of the moonlight shining through. It feels like an eternity since I've last laid down on this bed. I remember it felt like being hugged by a cloud. Now it feels like concrete. Tiny creaks sound from the room next door, accompanied by Marina's little squeaks of determination as she struggles with the fold-out bed, till finally I hear a loud thud. I can't help but smirk a little. I should have warned her that it was heavy. The room over goes silent. I hope it didn't crush her. Luckily, I soon hear footsteps tiptoeing across the carpet, then on the bathroom tile. They stop outside my door.
Hey, are you awake?
Her voice is weak, barely above a whisper. It's impossible to hear as it's muffled through the door.
I know I said it a lot already, but I really mean it. It's Amber. I
I continue to stay silent. In the dark, the ceiling looks like it's constantly changing in size and dimension, sometimes getting bigger and further away, other times getting closer and smaller. I look down. Through the crack under the door, I can see her shadow turning around to leave. The words slip out of my mouth before she can even take her first step. Night, kiddo. How? Amber's not that much older than Marina, right?
I assume that it's like a 1 to 2 years difference.
Yeah.
Like from what I can tell, like Amber's like. If I were to make a quick guess, like Marina's like 20, Amber's 22.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Oh, title again.
That's how you know a chapter ended.
Most people imagine Indian reservations as tucked away slices of heaven. Do they?
Not in my history classes. Usually from what I've heard that they're like not good.
Maybe this is a
Alternate universe.
West Coast thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe some pocketed oasis of vibrant greens and flowing water in what otherwise is a wasteland. Those people are wrong. The Navajo Reservation is as sandy and barren as the rest of the desert, and at 22,475 miles, it's neither green nor fun-sized. Not that I hate it. The miles of faded highway roads speed past me, blending together with the sand that stretches out to far-off rigid mountains. Like there's a rhythm to it all. Behind me, Marina is still stretched out on the fold-out bed, cuddling the pillow, a substitute for her blanket that's since fallen off her bed.
You use a pillow for a blanket, like anything you...
I guess just lie it on top of yourself.
Yeah, but like that seems very counterintuitive, like
I suppose. But hey, I'm not complaining. Soon we're rolling into the town, its jagged namesake peeking over the horizon, Shiprock. The town itself is typical for this desert. Nothing fancy like a high-rise, just a whole lot of plain shacks sitting on top of gravel, painted worn browns and beiges. From behind me, there's a light, almost fluffy yawn. I wonder how that bundle of joy handles mornings. Need coffee.
morning.
Oh hey, you're finally awake. I like how the
We're
shirt
trying to
says
court-
Amber. But yeah, what were you saying?
We're trying to cross the border.
Yeah.
Right in. Uh-huh.
She yawns again and thumbs back against the bed. Guess she's not a morning person. There's still some...
Get out with that Shiprock!
I take it back. Arena rushes behind me and grabs the back of the seats, her eyes sparkling.
Huge! I can't believe we can see it from so far away!
On closer inspection, my clothes are way too tight for her. My poor shirt is being stretched to its limits. Of course, that doesn't seem to bother her at all. I don't know if I'm more embarrassed for myself or for her. Well, we have to get moving now, so go get dressed or whatever.
Sure thing.
She scampers off to the back, finally giving me room to breathe as I make my way to the driver's seat. Until I accidentally glance at the rearview mirror. In the middle of the motorhome, Marina slips out of her pajamas into her regular clothes. Jeez, the bathroom is right there. I adjust the mirror and try my hardest to stay focused on anything else I can look at. Fully dressed, Marina pops back up beside me and settles in the passenger seat. Desolate road continues until suddenly, as if out of nowhere, we're granted by a line of cars. RVs, buses, and every kind of vehicle under this blazing sun. All lumped together, stacked one on top of the other, side by side, and every single one blasting their horns. What the?
Oh, you think this is because of the treasure?
I grit my teeth and flop back into my seat. I can only pray these are tourists, and I was the only one dumb enough to humor this scam. We are soon assimilated into the traffic jam. Slowly, the motorhome inches forward, but when we finally reach the front, a whole new monster awaits us. Laid out on the dirt, barely in the shadow of the looming mountain, It's a giant cluster that can only be described as such. Campers, tents, tarps, booths, you name it. A chaotic horde of people crowd around the entire unorganized mess. I cringe at the very sight of it. I'm in hell. Marina pushes her face against the window, in awe of the sheer insanity.
Hey, I don't think I've seen this many people since the concert.
Oh god, she's going to break from the overstimulation. A choir of
Damn.
horns serenade us from behind. Groaning, I pull forward and squeeze the motorhome into the nearest available space, slightly stuffed tightly between everything else. Backing out is going to be a real pain.
No, what are we waiting for? Let's go find that treasure.
Marina sits up and nearly leaps out of the seat, but I grab her wrist and pull her back into her seat. Just hold on a second. Her enthusiasm fades.
Oh, that's right. Only gonna drop me off and leave.
Sorry, but I'm gonna stick around a little longer because I'm gay.
Real?
She starts sniffling.
You're so nice to me, Amber. I think I might cry.
Hold it in. We gotta think of a game plan first.
Hey,
Marina returns to her usual happy-go-lucky self while I grimace at the chaos outside. If I suspend my disbelief and assume the treasure is real, where would we even start? We don't even have any equipment. I guess we may as well start by checking out the place.